What's up, everybody? My name is Morten Ferrisrand, and in this jazz guitar lesson, we're going to look at Diana Krall's version of the song Devil May Care. So, those of you who are familiar with that version may realize this already, that what I was playing in the intro here was actually her piano solo and Russell Malone's guitar solo. I was thinking that I would do the guitar solo, but listening to the piano solo, there's some interesting stuff that I wanted to talk about as well. And also, I think it's interesting to see how we can transfer one instrument, the piano, to the guitar, and what some of it is just like it's gonna. Well, all of this is gonna work great, but some of it you can play really similar to the piano, and some things, as you'll see, we have to change a little bit of it for different reasons. But anyway, let's do that. So you can download Tab, practice track, backing track, all that stuff. There's a link in the description for that. If you want to follow along on the sheet music, and we'll just take it bar by bar and see what's happening. So the pickup on bar number 1. So this is one thing, on guitar, if you look at that note in bar number 2, I'd probably do this, right? So on piano, this is obviously 2 keys. So what she's doing actually is it's similar, but instead of on guitar, one note will end when you get to the other. So I did this on 2 strings, which is not so common on guitar, but it's actually pretty cool, because she's letting that bottom note hang a little bit into the top note and releasing it. Right? Something you probably wouldn't think of on guitar necessarily, but listening to the piano, it really, it's more natural to do stuff like that on the piano. So she does, and it's creating this cool effect. You should listen to the original too, of course. Check out Diana Krall's original, just to hear the stuff that we're talking about, to actually hear how it sounds on the piano. So she's playing really bluesy. A lot of it is coming from the blues scale. That's kind of her style, she can play anything. She's a fantastic piano player and can play any bebop in any tempo. But she's also have this like elegant style of playing bluesy, jazzy piano. It's really nice. So bar number 5, I've written. She's actually playing this note. Probably with her left hand, so it's kind of, well, is it part of the solo or is it part of the comp? It's not too easy to say. So, she's comping a little bit with her left hand within the solo. I haven't written any of that down except for. It's a little bit hard to play that on guitar, and it sounds maybe a little bit strange. So I just took that note up an octave. Right? Bar number 6. So that's the piano is a little bit faster instrument than guitar. So to do, she could play all those 3 notes at the same time. So playing them infinitely fast would be playing at the same time. So just by adjusting that a little bit, a trill like this could be played as fast as you want on the piano. On guitar, there's a limit to how fast you can play it. But my solution is to play an upstroke on the first 2 notes, and then just slide down on the last one. Right? You could play it on the same string, but it doesn't have the same impact as. Right? Bar number 7. Interesting there, I think that you sort of can hear stuff that is not there. You can sort of hear this. She's actually not playing that. She's playing, and on the next bar, you have that eighth note in addition. But so the pattern, really simple pattern. Bar number 10, this is also interesting, I think. She's playing kind of what is being played is, but she's adding that, which is also something that you might not think of on guitar. It's also really played really fast. You may want to play the first note here with the third finger, and on the next string with the second, to be able to play it faster. Yeah, so that's something that's happening a lot in this solo, that those really fast kind of feels like trills. Right? Bar number 11. This is also an element that we may be a little bit, we should maybe think about a little more, and that's really changing the register in which you're playing. We tend to kind of go gradually, you know, up and down like this, which is not bad, of course, but a nice musical touch is to go right from here and then just jump up and play in a different register, like she's doing. Just something to think about, you know, just something to remind yourself that you can actually do that. Yeah, so leading note, you could say melodic minor kind of stuff, sounding a little bit more jazzy, maybe. Bar number 14, nice little line. So the chords there are C7 and F7. She's kind of playing, I've been talking about this a lot, that you don't have to kind of play chord notes for C7 and F7. This is kind of like a 2-5-1. It doesn't resolve to 1, but she's actually kind of thinking F altered for the entire bar. Right, this is F altered. Though the key is C7 first. This is also a trill that is going a bit too fast to play on the guitar the way that she plays it. So it's gonna sound a little bit different, but depending on the tempo, this is a pretty bright tempo, so I would play this first note and then just hammer on and slide the rest. If it was a little bit faster, you could play the first note and then also the second note as a pick, and kind of separate it like it's written, with the first and eighth note and then a triplet. In this tempo, I would just play the whole thing like a triplet, as opposed to, it's subtle, but anyway. Bar number 15, bluesy, right? Bar number 17, really cool little lick. This idea here, this melodic idea, is so simple to move around and play wherever you want it. Yeah, and that's how she ends her piano solo. So let's go to Russell Malone's guitar solo. Melodic statements. Next bar. Very similar, but like a response, ends a little bit differently. As a the rhythmic structure is the same, and it's, you know, it's like a composition. You know, it's not like just blowing over changes. It's like a melodic statement followed up by another melodic statement. Bar number 27. He's using quite a lot of vibrato. Yeah, I tend to not use that as much as he does with a clean tone like this, but he does that quite. He's also quite a bluesy player. And into bar number 21. Bar number 33 is stating that major thing. Most times this song is in the key of B flat minor. He's playing right there is a major chord, so he's stating that major third. Back to minor in bar 35. So pivoting around a note like this. Also a thing that is easy to forget that you can do, right? As a tool for improvising, but he's using it quite beautifully here. So all up until the last note is just from like a bluesy minor scale. And he's stating that third of the F7. On bar number 39. So that's a cool thing that I don't know how many times I've said this, but playing a major 7 arpeggio from one step below on a dominant 7th chord is exactly what it is doing here. So it's a G flat 7 chord, and he's playing, well, let's call it F flat, E major, right? It's a major 7 arpeggio from one step below the root. Yeah, so easy way to kind of follow that. Next bar. So this is into bar number 43, and also same thing happened here, happening here that we was talking about with playing on the dominant chord, even on the 2 chord, playing on the 5 chord, even on the 2 chord, because this entire line, that's F7 altered, right? So, but the chord is first C minor 7, so the 2 chord C minor 7 flat 5 to F7. And instead of just playing the line, he's taking some breaks in there to make it, you know, make some melodic statements and rhythmic statements happening. Bar number 45, minor scale with the natural 6. He's playing that, you could, yeah, well, the natural 6, Dorian kind of color note on out. Nice little statement there. And ending the solo, same kind of scale run that he did earlier, right? He's using the same thing. So yeah, it's a common way to approach the scale for him, I guess, and for everybody, really. Yeah, so that's it. Comping wise, I thought it was, if you listen to the original, there's no drums, there's bass, piano, and guitar, and he's pretty consistently playing with his thumb on the 2 middle strings. So the guitar is really driving this song with the comp, and the piano is just playing like fills. So it's really, you know, worth checking out exactly what Russell Malone is doing here, because it's really right for this song, and you know, It's a good, nice way of comping. You know, we talked about this before a lot, but it's playing on the 2 middle strings, and that's its comp. It's really not doing anything else than that on the entire song. So yeah, if you're stuck in a rut, you know, this is the way to get out of it. Learn transcribed solos. If you feel you're playing the same stuff all over again, you're repeating yourself all the time, this is the way to get out of that rut. Learn music. And by listening to me playing it and kind of going into detail about it, you'll probably realize stuff. You get it. You get a deeper understanding of it than just listening to it. But by actually playing it and learning to play it all the way through, you'll learn stuff that is not really possible to teach. I mean, you really have to experience playing this. Yeah, it's a good way to get to get moving with your music, get new ideas, and also get a feeling of how to kind of portion a solo, not blowing all the time, but doing melodic little statements like this. I mean, well, it's not. You have to just experience it. That's the way to learn it. So I really recommend you spending some time with this stuff, because it's really the best way to learn to play jazz and to improvise. So yeah, I'll end now with a recording that I did with my trio. If you want to listen to that, we did this song. So I'll just leave you with that, and have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. No cares for me, I'm happy as I can be. I've learned to love and to live, a devil may care. No cares and woes, whatever comes later goes. That's how I'll take and I'll give, devil may care. When the day is through, I suffer no regrets. I know that he who frets loses the night. For only a fool thinks he can hold back the dawn. He who is wise never tries to revise what's past and gone. Live love today, let come tomorrow what may. Don't even stop for a sigh, it doesn't help if you cry. That's how I'll live and that's how I'll die, devil may care. I'm happy as I can be. I've learned to love and to live, a devil may care. No cares and woes, whatever comes later goes. That's how I'll take and I'll give, devil may care. But when the day is through, I suffer no regrets. I know that he who frets loses the night. For only a fool thinks he can hold back the dawn. He who is wise never tries to revise what's past and gone. Live love today, let come tomorrow what may. Don't even stop for a sigh, It doesn't help if you cry. That's how I'll live, and that's how I'll die. Devil may care. Devil may care.